चाओ चाओ दोस्तों, नमस्ते। काफी दिनों से क्रिकेट वीडियो किया नहीं हूं, तो लेट्स डू अ क्रिकेट वीडियो विद ऑल द अपडेट्स दैट्स बीन हैपनिंग। एंड एक जो हेडलाइन जो डोमिनेट कर रहा है, व्हिच इज काइंड ऑफ द फील्ड, जो टिपिकली इंडियन फुटबॉल में होता है।
Wow!
Let's not get there. But Off the field, Saina Nehwal का एक interview slash podcast in which she appeared caused a lot of controversy, which I feel कि मेरे हिसाब से तो it's a lost in translation, overreaction and all that bhilpuri together. यार सबसे पहले तो clarify करना चाहता हूँ. I think Saina Nehwal meant that the spotlight is always on Indian cricket, and that's unfair to other sports, which is a fact. Cricket does dominate the headlines. The money is in cricket, so cricket is always going to take that number one spot in Indian media, Indian coverage, and whatever the investors, ads, जो भी हो, जो पैसा आता है इकोसिस्टम में, वो भारत में क्रिकेट में ही आता है. ये एक फैक्ट है, ठीक है. You can't deny it. But I think the one thing that has caught everyone's kind of attention is that when she said that badminton and other sports में बहुत stamina लगता है and cricket में नहीं लगता है, for long periods of game there is no. But यार, it is a technical sport. She said it's a skill based sport, but it doesn't need to have that much of stamina. If you listen to the whole thing, वो clip, अगर आपने clip देखा है, तो they've purposely removed that part where she said no, cricket does require stamina and endurance, but not so much, which is technically not wrong. I mean, if you look at it, अगर आप देखोगे तो it's not wrong, because otherwise, cricket, badminton is an individual sport. आप doubles खेलते हो, it is non-stop. There's absolute action, but obviously it's a shorter duration than cricket. Cricket happens in bursts. Okay, so एक major difference है दोनों में कि एक team sport है and एक individual sport है, right? So ये जो bursts में होता है, even in football, भले वो team sport हो, जो bursts में होता है, that's where an athlete earns his or her bread and butter. How good you are in those bursts, right? And there are two things that kind of got everyone's attention, like I mentioned. एक तो ये issue था, and दूसरा कि जो पैसा आता है. So both are facts. Cricket is also very very technical sport. अगर आप टेस्ट मैच में अगर आपको सर्वाइव करना है, जो एंड्योरेंस आपको चाहिए is crazy. I mean, the first person right now I can think of, and I'm sure कि आप लोग भी, you would have the same person in mind, is Virat Kohli. The way that he kind of he's been facing the best bowlers in the world, running with those pads, and just the way that he's athletic throughout, very very difficult to achieve, and hence he's the GOAT. So just to sum up this entire thing, by using an example, जब मैं न्यूजीलैंड में था, तो न्यूजीलैंड में अगर आप देखोगे, the dominant sport is rugby. Okay, it is rugby everywhere. It is basically, just imagine cricket जैसे इंडिया में रिलीजन है, वैसे रग्बी न्यूजीलैंड में है. 2015 में वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल में ब्रेंडन मैकलम एक्चुअली kind of pleaded to the New Zealanders to watch the World Cup final between Australia and New Zealand. मतलब उसको जाके, जैसे सुनील छेत्री ने वीडियो बनाया था, not to that extent, but he was hopeful that more people tune into the sport, because cricket over there is a secondary sport. And मैं 2016 में गया था न्यूजीलैंड में, and I saw that with my own eyes, and I spoke to a lot of people as well. Rugby takes precedence. So addressing the first point, Saina ji, I absolutely like you, and I respect you, and I still do even after the interview. And I've watched your documentary name, biopic, a million times for the plot. You know what the plot is. But I think you really can't do anything about this. The way that Indian media, or how Indian cricket dominates the world of sport in the country, you can't do anything, because cricket has now reached to that point of elevation. ठीक है, we want the other sports to do well. Overall, we want to change India into a sporting nation. I agree with you on that point. ठीक है, तो वो एक थोड़ा lost in translation, थोड़ा ओवर रिएक्शन हो गया. दूसरी बात में, cricket also is a very difficult sport to play. I think every sport is difficult. भले वो golf हो या cricket हो या swimming हो या anything, football, rugby, very very difficult sport. And only if you play multiple disciplines in a sport would you know that each and every sport is difficult, and that too at the highest level. आई मीन आप बोल सकते हो एक चुन्नी गोस्वामी है जिन्होंने फुटबॉल क्रिकेट दोनों खेला है एंड यू नो once you play at that level you know that every sport is difficult. You look at AB de Villiers as well. So yeah, I mean, I know why the clickbait and everything happened, but we as Indian sports fans respect every sport and every sports person, and we salute like and have total respect for everybody. यार तुम लोग जो करते हो is very difficult, and an ordinary person like us we can't do it. So yeah, let's close this controversy thing. यार ये थोड़ा out of proportion हो गया, थोड़ा news कम था because India is playing Zimbabwe in this fight T20. I primarily blame this only. यार ये Zimbabwe वाला जो tour है ना is not really been catching people's eye. It's been the Ambani wedding which has been dominating headlines. Ambani wedding in terms of the sports personalities attending, भले वो Infantino हो या हार्दिक पांड्या और ऋषभ पंत हो, that's been the center of attraction. Hence this kind of viral Saina Nehwal clip kind of blew up. And I'm watching the Zimbabwe series, to be honest. I'm sure that agar aap cricket fan hai, you must be following it, at least watching the highlights. And it's been interesting, you know, because obviously you have now Yashasvi Jaiswal back in the fold. Or pehla T20 I mein we faced defeat. Like I don't know how we lost that game, but after that it's just been complete utter domination. Especially the last game that happened where we won, by 10 wickets. Yashasvi really now stepping up, and now it kind of makes sense there with Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli retiring. Yashasvi is going to take up the baton and become the next opener. So यार ये सीरीज उसके लिए काफी महत्वपूर्ण था, and not in terms of the opponent, with all due respect to Zimbabwe, but just to get out there and perform for the country. So quite interesting over there. And otherwise तो मेरे को तो no one has really caught my eye. Ruturaj being very steady, Shubman Gill not losing a single toss. Also, he's been on and off. Sanju not getting a chance as usual. Who else? Washington Sundar is back. I hope that he remains injury free. And Baki, to I have really no other takeaways from the series per se. Just a good run for everybody. I think Riyan Parag unfortunately has missed out on this opportunity, but I'm sure he'll get another one soon. But overall, yeah, एक last match बाकी है, वो जीत लो और आ जाओ वापस, and we'll see how to go from there. And in other cricketing news, obviously you have the World Legends Cricket League that happened in Birmingham in the UK, and of course we beat Pakistan once again. यार पाकिस्तान तो है ही joke of a country. तो league stage में they had beaten us, and everyone was like, ये revenge था, वो था, but final में जहाँ पे it mattered, they once again stumbled. That's the same old story, yeah. And Yuvraj Singh has been brilliant all throughout the tournament, but that semi-final performance against Australia, Yuvraj and semis, super. But yeah, I mean, this is something that I've been wanting to see for a long time. Yuvraj Singh leading the national team. It didn't happen quite a lot during his playing days, but I'm glad it happened now. Yeah, I mean, kudos. He's a legend, and no one can disrespect or question his legendary status. No, not on this channel. So yeah, I mean, that is it for this video, guys. अभी और क्या चल रहा है क्रिकेट में यार. वेस्ट इंडीज इंग्लैंड था, comprehensive win for England by an innings and some 117 odd runs. Jimmy Anderson announcing his retirement finally, rather pushed into his retirement, but ठीक है, one of the all-time greats of the game. Other than that, I think the next big series for India is going to be Sri Lanka, and we will be posting cricket content, as and when things spice up. Obviously, Gautam Gambhir has been announced as head coach, so once we have a little more clarity on his backroom staff, his plans, we'll do a preview on that. Other than that, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma are in London watching Gaur Gopal Das and Wimbledon respectively. So I think it's a good time to take a break from cricket, and do watch for other content coming on this channel. We'll obviously be doing a complete pre-season preview for all the clubs right now. International football ho jayega. We'll be back to club football. I, for one, am very happy for that, because obviously Italy got knocked out early in the Euros, and club football is now what I'm looking forward to. But in terms of cricket, like I mentioned, we'll be posting videos soon. So अगर आप यहाँ तक आए हो, I'm very thankful. Do consider subscribing to the channel if you like this kind of content. Like this video and share it with all your friends in your sports groups. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another video sometime soon. I'm Ajay Menon, AM Talk Sport, and Saina ji, I absolutely respect you, and I also absolutely adore your biopic. It has my heart always. Until next time, guys. Ciao, ciao.